Welcome to Repair Shark's iPod Touch 2nd generation LCD replacement. Here we'll show you how to open the front glass and replace the LCD. We have the iPod Touch that we're going to be working on, our replacement LCD, and also a mid-frame that we have here. This is the frame that sits underneath the glass. It's glued to the glass, and we're using this as a model for helping us take the clips off to remove the front glass. We have the iPod Touch that we're going to be working on, our replacement LCD, and also a mid-frame that we have here. This is the frame that sits underneath the glass. It's glued to the glass, and we're using this as a model for helping us take the clips off to remove the front glass. If you look, this is the front right here of the mid-frame. If you look on the left side, you'll see a series of clips, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on this side that you need to release, and also on the other side, the opposite side. I'll flip it around and get a better view. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 clips on this side as well, and there's also a locking tab on the top. The bottom does not have much. You could actually pop these sections out rather easily without worrying about the clips. Start by using a razor blade, a straight edge razor blade. Get it in between the frame, plastic frame, and the silver backplate or outer bezel here that you see. And the idea is to kind of pop this open gently without ruining the frame, so that you can start to work around the iPod and remove the tabs. It helps to use a iPod opening tool to keep space while you're working around. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, but it does help to put a little pressure so you can pop the clips off easily and release the front glass. You can see we've released the first half of the glass. You don't want to pull or yank the front glass off, as it is still attached by a ribbon cable, and it is also attached on the opposite side with the clips. You can see here that the glass is starting to come up, the bottom piece is up, the other side, the opposite side is up, and now we just have the top piece in the corner here to remove. We want to be careful though that the cable is actually connected underneath this spot here, and you don't want to pull up from this area, or else you run the risk of ruining the actual cable here, and you'll need a new front glass and digitizer to fix that. As you can see here, we have the front glass lifted up, and now we're going to remove the cable. This one actually we popped up already. You just want to take a small tool like a flathead screwdriver or one of your iPod opening tools here, and just get underneath the cable and just gently pry it up. It'll come right up, and now you have the front glass removed from the iPod Touch. The next step is to pull back the gold or copper foil that you see here at the top of the LCD. We'll need to pull this back so that we can eventually lift the LCD up to get to the underlying screws. A small razor blade works well, just to use it to lift up the corner of the copper, and then you can peel the rest back. In the next step, we're going to want to remove lift up the LCD here so that we can access the screws underneath and eventually pull out the plate and remove the LCD. Start here underneath, and you start to slide a small tool. Be very careful here, as the LCD is very gentle, and any excessive pressure on the LCD will cause it to crack or damage. And we have access to all the screws. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on this side. There's one outside the LCD on the top right here, one screw here, and then an additional 1, 2, 3 that hold this plate on here. The cable for the LCD runs underneath this plate, so you do need to remove it in order to install the a new LCD properly. Once you have all 8 screws removed, make sure to keep them in order. There are some different screws here amongst the 8 that you will be removing. You'll need to lift up the back plate and disconnect the LCD as well. So be careful. You might want to disconnect the LCD first. That does make it a little bit easier when you remove it. Down here, the connector for the LCD. I'll zoom in so you can see it. Right here is the connector for the LCD. You can pop this connector up gently, just like you did with the digitizer and front glass. Lift up your LCD, and now you can remove this plate after you've disconnected the LCD. Gently pry it off. It might get stuck here a little bit. And be careful because your battery is still glued to the back of this plate, so you don't want to completely remove it or else you will damage the battery. You don't want to remove the tape if any was on the new LCD that you received. There's also usually a sticker or a protective coating on the back. You'll want to remove this as well from the back of the LCD. You can leave the front protector sheet on for now, as you can remove this at the end before you put the front on. This way you keep it from getting any fingerprints on it. Going to want to slide this behind the plate, the cable, making sure it's properly lined up. Now you just go reverse the steps you followed before to complete the installation, and I'll show you how to do that. Installing the new LCD is much like removing the old. I'm going to put the LCD ribbon cable behind the metal plate and run it all the way to the connection point at the bottom of the board. And you can lay your LCD down, just get the metal plate in there, and then you want to lift up the LCD again and begin to install the screws back in. There's 8 screws. You want to reinstall them. Now we have our iPod LCD installed. You can see all the screws underneath are all put back into place. LCD sits on top. You want to make sure it's pretty even. The tape that's already on there could be reused. You want to put back your foil at the top. Now you just want to put your front glass and digitizer back on. The connector's right here at the top corner. You're just going to push it on while holding the digitizer on an angle so as not to put any pressure on it. Now we just need to finish testing the iPod Touch, and we can do that by turning it on with the top power button. We can now reassemble the front glass, and we follow the same process we did before. It's actually kind of simple to put the front glass back on. You just work around it and you press it in until the clips engage. Thank you for watching our video. You can find parts and repair services at repairsharks.com. We sell parts and repair services for old generation iPods. We do replace front glasses on the iPod Touch. If you need a new front glass, you can contact us. We also do sell the parts, including the LCD, the front glass, and the mid frames for all the generation iPod Touches. Thank you.